All right, let me let everybody get in. Let me pull up chat. Here we go. Let everybody get over here. I thought I'd start with a flip through of the journal that I've been working on. The last time I streamed, I think we kind of worked on the cover page, but I've been working in it a little more. I don't know what I'm going to do with the front of it. It's got a little bit of a paint stain already, so I'll definitely do something at the end to cover it. I might do a fabric cover on top of it. I haven't decided. So we started with this inside, which we did together on the stream. And then I added a quote over here because Bob was looking at it and he was like, why is there not another butterfly on the back? So originally when I was planning it, I was thinking like it would be stuck together, but then I decided to make it actually flip. This was the first page, and what I've been doing is trying to go a little more abstract, but I really have gotten obsessed with the Tim Holtz ideology. Hi, Kat. Hi, Shauna. Great bag. The way it turned out was really pretty. And I've been using some of the tissue, the kind of grunge, and I still tend to lean towards that vintage. This one was green with some yellows and copper. And again, trying to get some of those mark making stamped tissue. This one I hated, but Bob loves it. I didn't care for it. It's too bright in my opinion. This one here, and I thought it, and then I started using like butterflies and some other pieces of ephemera, so it's starting to get that vintage feel again. Let me zoom in the camera one more step. I hate this thing. There it is. All right, that's better. Then this one, start using some more of the vintage papers, some of the ephemera, some more of the tissue that I had made. This was jelly printed tissue. Then this one. So I went ahead and went with the way it was going so that it would all be kind of the same. This one I really liked how it turned out. This one's a little different. And on these little butterflies, what I did was I've been hacking the backs of them off because they're kind of 3D. And then this one, this is that new stencil from this month's Stencil Girl. And this one. Hey, Susan. I just did this one the other day. Did this one on Juneteenth. And then we got to go to the back of the book because I started working. I've been working the front and the back of the book, sort of working towards the middle. I don't care for this one. Thank you, Susan. I don't like the colors, but like Bob loves it. So, I mean, go figure. I was obsessed with this washi type paper. And some of these you can really see the detail when you look up close, the layers and the markings. So I've been really trying to work on doing some of the more abstract markings. I don't like the color on this one, but I just went with it. Hi, Sandra. And this one I used some of the Tim Holtz tissue, and then I came back after it was gel medium on top and used the pit pens to kind of color it. I like how this one came out, but this right here ended up being too dark. So the other day I came back with a lighter teal so that it stood out on top of that black piece a little bit more. That's napkin. This was another one that was so hard, like so hard. I started with like a green and yellow in the middle, and then it went to kind of a reddish pyrrole red. And I put this piece across here to kind of make a horizon because I was thinking like an abstract landscape. And I did some drippage in like gray and black, and then teal, which darkened the bottom. And then I put some tissue and I was like, okay, this top is still too light and the bottom is way too dark. So what I ended up doing was coming back with a stencil and using white gesso, and then before I moved the stencil, then I came back in with like an orange and yellow mixture that was a closer match to this top. And then when that was dry, I did flip the stencil and I did the white gesso and came in with the green and the teal over top this. And then I ended up liking it. And it does have some white layers in there too. And if I get it up close, you can probably, it's going to make the camera go crazy. But there's a lot of detail in the layers. And then I ended up liking it. All right, so that's the ones that are done. So here's kind of how, like this was leftover paint. So I came in with just kind of black, and I've been using acrylic pour paint with a little bit of water. So what I decided to do is put some in one of my bottles to see if that wouldn't help give me thinner lines. So this one that's real thick is the brush, and the thinner line is using this bottle. And then what I did when I had leftover paint is come in and just add paint. So I'm close to being done with that one. I'm not sure where I want it to go next. And this is just gessoed, and I've been adding some tissue or paper across the page, the ditch, because what I found is that it'll start leaking into previous ones occasionally. This journal has tried to come apart. This is the one I'm going to work on today on finishing. And I already have some stuff set aside for it. And then like back here, I had some leftover yellow paint. Here I put some tissue across, and I put some more of that lace paper from Lorna just to help like keep it from going so bad through. This is just gesso. This is what I'll gesso, and then I get to, so I'll gesso like 2 or 3 here and 2 or 3 here, and then kind of just work that. So this was the one I kind of started last night. Normally I go page by page, but I'm kind of not sure where I want to go on that. And I started this one, so now I'm kind of ready to finish it. So what I did was I started gluing some black and white. So I put the music paper down and the dictionary paper down. And then I had this stamped, well, it's like tracing paper or deli that had some paint on it from alcohol ink. So I stamped on that. And this was tissue that I had stamped with Tim Holtz stamps. And then I added this black and white. So I know that I want to add this couple right in here. And I know I want to add this 4 up here. So I know that's going to go there. I pulled some other pieces that I may or may not use. The next thing I need to do is do some stencil work. So I'm going to move them aside. So I pulled this stencil because I know I want this down here across the bottom and maybe even a little bit up here in this area. And then I'm also going to use this stencil, and I know that's going to be in turquoise, this kind of greeny turquoise here. I'm leaning towards doing this in kind of a rusty red. So I believe what I'm going to do is use quinacridone gold. And that's pretty transparent. I'm going to add a little burnt sienna to it. And I think I'm going to give it a little bit of a yellow. But it's mostly the quinacridone gold. All right, and I'm going to put it on, and then I'm going to put the stencil and white back. And this is all got gel medium, so it should wipe back pretty easy. There's very little. I don't want it on the black and white. All right, so I'm going to so I'm just going to clean it up, and I'm going to move upward. So I don't get that much on the and I don't care if that gets a little stained. I don't want turn the baby white to get a clean area. Okay, I like that. So I think I'll continue that across the bottom. Some paint right back there. And I'm not seeing chat for a minute, just a second. I'll get this done and then I'll come back and chat. Right, and I want to put a little more paint right in there. You do need your page gesso to do this, or gel medium. Okay, and then the question is, do I want... I'm leaning towards some up there. This is Stencil Girl. It was a club stencil. It's one of the monthly ones. I think I want... I'm going to let it overlap a little right in here. Mermaid scales. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of that one that Vicky Bouton chandelier one that we have. With the beads. Kind of a swag. Okay. And there's going to be more over it, so it's just a layer. In fact, I'm probably going to, I'm leaning towards putting this potentially in here, but I'm not sure. I'm definitely going to add some stuff. All right, so this floral is going to go in here. And I think I'm going to use the white paint and then the turquoise because it will help block. Yes, I can. Thank you. All right. So this is, let me get the right bottle. This is Deco Arts Traditions. They used to come in bottles like this, but now you can't hardly find these bottles. They come in the tubes like this. And they have this opaque titanium white, which is really, really good. This is a Stencil Girl Club stencil. This is Ray. Starts with the M. Magician. Ray Magician. Yeah. And I'm sure I said that last name wrong. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on this side first. And like I said, I'm just going to use the white paint and I'm going to do a thin layer. And then come back across it. And I'm going to do the turquoise before I move the stencil. All right, and then I'm going to take turquoise. I'm going to put this on the, because I don't want the stencil to move on me. Oh, I hate buffers. So sorry. All right, so that is like desert turquoise. believe it's covered up. I'm pretty sure it's desert turquoise. And this is Bahama blue. Which has a little more of a green color. I'm gonna need that second bottle here soon. All right, and then I'm gonna add just a little bit of a cobalt turquoise. A little darker. Okay, that is pretty good coverage of the turquoise. So now I'm going to go back to my white in this other side. Hi, Kimberly. Yes, the boat has interfered. We've been busy with that. Well, I went with Bob the first trip because whoever was going to go with him had to cancel, so I felt bad. That meant 2 hours on Lake Granbury. Oh, good, Joycey. Okay, now I'm going to come back up to the top, hit it some more. Okay, I think that's good. And then we'll get back in the turquoise. need some more of that Bahama blue. Put some paints up. Give myself some more room. That should be, oh, I like that. I may change where I'm not going to change where I'm putting the people. All right, let me wipe my hand clean. Well, actually, I'm going to dry this a little heat gun. It's a tracker. Yeah, we bought a boat, Shauna. We ordered it. It's just a bass tracker. So it's not super, well, it's comfortable, but it's like 2 people. You can't take out a bunch. Okay. Extra paint. Leaning towards some of that paint may need to go on here. But I think I'd rather take that paint back here. So I'm just going to take a brush. It's a dirty brush, and I'm going to start with the white. Add that. This is the white with that, like it's got some of the quinacridone gold in the brush. All right, and then what I'll do is I'll stick a piece of deli in it. And then clean that just a little. And I'm going to come into that Bahama blue and turquoise. This is just a gessoed page. All right. Clean out that brush a little bit. added water to the brush and to the paint just to get the last little bit. And this will just be a base layer. Wipe that up so we don't get it on something. That's a little more paint, so I'm gonna dry it just a bit. Our problem here, Kimberly, is the boat ramps are flooded. Well, the lakes are flooded. So a lot of the boat ramps are closed. So we had to go. It's about a hour drive down to Granbury from our house. All right, so those will just sit and dry. And we'll come back to this. So that's been Bob's biggest problem, is where can he put in? All right, and I'm gonna clean up a few areas with a clean baby wipe. All right, let's put our friend, our little couple. And I just made a cluster. I put them together, and then I added a circle cut from a map. And it's just art glitter glue. All right, and I know I want that circle to be right there. And it says Memphis, and I want that to... Okay, so I'm happy with this side. So I'm going to leave that side alone. All right, I know I want to use this. I thought I was going to put it up here, but I think I like it down here better. Whoop. Sorry. Just trying to shift some of this. Some of the stuff I pulled. Hi, Dot. I'm leaning towards that and calling this side done. I definitely want the 4, this circle. I'm going to raise that up. And I'm going to put this little floral. That way And then I think I'll put my little bee in here. Yeah, and then I'm going to take big fat Lyra pencil. I'm going to make some marks. And then I sometimes come pull them back with a wet baby wipe. Okay, I think that's good. So I think that's done. Sorry. I'm working. I need to move the camera is what I probably need to do. Because the camera's not in my sweet spot. So let me hold that up so you can sort of see some of the marks in there are fairly faint. There's that little corner with the little bee in the 4. So I think I'm done with this one. I'm going to put a little gel medium over these are matte paper. Definitely need some gel medium. Not the Timmy people so much, but I usually give them the whole thing up. Very watered down. That way, if something didn't get glued all the way, it helps it. Okay. And then the pieces that I didn't use go back in the box. Get that a little dry. And then I may take a little bit of the really dark cobalt turquoise and a damp brush. I feel like I want to shade some of these. I'm going to add a little more water to that. Just to kind of give them a little more of a variated. A painterly look. Hold that a little closer to the camera so you can sort of see. Just use my finger to dapple it. Darken some of these. Hi, Vaughn. This will also help if you have any of those white edges. I have it real thin. So it probably is not going to show up on camera very well, but up close it added more definition. It's going to flash out. All right, Kimberly. All right, so let's dry that real quick. Put deli in there where that's drying. And let's see about, this is white acrylic pour paint with a little bit of water, not much, just a little. So I'll just add another layer to that. Yeah, there's a little bee. All right, and that I have to dry before I turn the page or put deli. So excuse me, I'm going to turn on the it's not all the way dry. Let's get a stamp. All right, and I'm just looking for some writing. I think just some script kind of writing in a few places. And I'm barely getting it in there. I'm trying to avoid the white areas. Okay, I think that's good. Might want some up in here, but I'm going to leave that out. That's an option. Okay, I think I want a magenta. I don't have a magenta, but I have a red and a lilac. I think I'm out of a magenta. Well, I have it in Arteza. This is a dark scarlet. I think that might be good. And I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. And I think I need some paper, something collaged. Maybe some of the tissue I stamped. I think I'm going to use this stencil in a couple places. That white needs to dry a little more. Leaning towards the rectangles. Or maybe the big circles. All right, I'm going to get a brush with some water. So I can tear it a little easier. Down the side. Okay, I think I'm going to use these. And I think I'm going to use a couple of the long bars. And these are just, it's tissue I just stamped with foam stamps that I had from Tuesday morning. Okay, so I'm going to put those aside. I have a little bit of this turquoise paint sitting on my desk. And I'm going to add just a little bit of it in a couple of places just to darken. Okay. No, I haven't. Okay. Good. I'm going to do 2 circles right there. Need to dry that real quick. Okay. I think I'm just going to use a glue stick right now to stick them down. If I can. They will go clear. They'll just stick right there for right now. Just put some water. All right, and then I think we'll put the other one up here. Tearing some more tissue off. Okay. I'm just going to use some water to get that tissue to stick right now. It's not glued, so it'll lay flat. I'm not sure about that one yet. Oh, that's cute. I'll have to look later. All right. Really need to cover it with gel medium before I do the burgundy paint. But I know if I touch these with a brush, we start in the areas where there's no white paint to start with. The black is dry. Now this pink is Dilutions from I had a piece of deli that had dilutions on it, and I stuck it in the damp gesso and let it bleed. So that's why that's got kind of a pink bleed through. And I'm very lightly going over because I want to put some, I want to wipe back. With some burgundy and a stencil. If I have that layer, it will allow me to do a little more. Don't know that I'm going to use this. All right, so let's try that. All right, I think that's good. All right, I'm going to turn this upside down. All right, so I'm going to use a mask stencil. And I'm going to use this part right here that's got kind of this crisscross and this sort of leaf print. I'm going to go right in here, I think, with the burgundy. Okay, let's put that paint in here. Need deli paper back here. And I probably need deli paper right there. All right, let's take a wet baby wipe. Need more paint in here. Okay, I'm gonna take that off. And I'm gonna flip it back around. And decide if there's any areas where I wanna, I'm gonna get a clean baby wipe. Clean it up. All right, and then I'm going to come in with a paintbrush. Kind of put that line back in that I wanted. Okay, I like how this got red in here when I blended it up with the dirty baby wipe. I think I want to put some of this red in here. Hi, Judy. All right, I'm gonna kind of. Thanks, Judy. I'm gonna let it. Maybe it needs to drip. So I'm going to tilt it and let it drip. Okay. So I feel like it needs the tip of this. So I'm going to take the and put red in here. I'm done with that brush. I'm trying to move some of this stuff out of my way. And then take. All right, so I'm going to start with this right in here. Okay, let's see. Clean up some of that white. Clean wet brush. Take it off some of those white lines. Clean baby white. There was tissue there. and then I'm gonna, I kind of like how this turned out. So this is just a dirty, watery brush. Well, I didn't get as much. I need a little more paint. There we go. That's a little heavier. Well, that's got a little bit of that in there. So that's good. Kind of like that shadowy effect. Okay, I've got some red paint. Like that. So I'm gonna come back here, add water to that red paint, and I'm gonna take a baby white. And just add that extra bit of paint. In here. All right, let that sit. Gotta get that paintbrush away. That. All right, let me get rid of the red. So I don't get that all over other stuff. Okay, yeah. All right, now I'm not sure where it needs to go next. Oh, good, Vaughn. All right, I'm going to put a watery layer of medium, and I'm getting pink on my white again, but I'm just going to go with it. Obviously, it wants to be a pink. Okay, very busy. Oh, thanks, Joycey. Now I'm just I got to decide where it's going next. I'm going to dry it real quick. All right, I think I am going to add a number, maybe. I want a large number. I think I want that 8, maybe. Maybe I want sharp angles. I'm just pulling out the numbers I have left. I think I've used all the ones with. The sad is I'm down to very few. This is my second set of this ephemera pack. I need the die. But I don't have a die cutting machine. I don't want to buy a die cutting machine. I like the 8, I think. Now there is the possibility of the other Tim Holtz. Numbers, but they're not they're not big enough. So that's a no-go. Well, I'm going to go with this 8. Hey, Lena. I loved your post the other day. You did such a good job, as always. I don't know the girl you were painting along with, though. have to find her channel. Okay, so there's that. And really what I'm doing is I'm looking at this side alone. I'm also looking at this side alone and the whole composition. So the next journal I'm going to do differently, because this one I forgot what I was going to do and got started and did it like my comp journals. Yeah. Michelle the Painter is her YouTube name. Thank you. Thank you. I'll find her later. And make sure I subscribe. All right, put those numbers back. I still feel like it needs something to break this up a little, but again, maybe if you're just looking at this side, then it's fine. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it sit. And I may add to it later. Oh, I do have one idea. Let's see if any of Johnny Cash's words. Because maybe that would work. All right, I'm going to take the chorus from this song. It says, I know I'll keep on loving you because true love can't be killed. I ought to get you off my mind, but I guess I never will. I could have a dozen others, but I know I'd love you still because I get so doggone lonesome. Okay, that's going there. Let's get the brush. Okay, that white helped. Okay. Alrighty. And I think the other thing I want to do is I think I want to break up with some dictionary black and white text. And I'm going to make it go across this page here a little bit, right in there. And then a little bit in here maybe. Just to help push some of that away. Let that hang off the edge and I'll trim it. I think that helped. Cut that off. And I'll trim it better later. Right, I think I'm going to call that one finished. Yeah. Bye, Z. All right. So I have not had these acrylics in these bottles yet. I put a pin in this one. I'm going to find a pin because I think with an acrylic, it'd be easier to keep it from clogging. So I'm going to set that aside. So that's 2 done. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do with my next project that I got ready to start. I haven't decided what journal I'm going to use, but I'm using this. So I'm leaning towards, because I want to be able to take them out of the journal. So I'm leaning towards this here because I can do it in the journal and then I can take it out. But I'm leaning towards doing it smaller and maybe taking tape and dividing the page into like 2, maybe, I'm thinking, is what I'm leaning towards. Coming in and blocking it off with tape. And I'm going to try to stay away from the vintage, which is hard for me. I tend to fall into that because I like that. The 8 ball took over. Yeah, the 8 is represents money. All right, so what I think I'm going to do is use this book and use tape. And I'm going to take the pattern book that I got. Joycey enabled me on this. And if you want to find a used copy, just put in Amazon the pattern book. It's a chronicle book. There is a shot, if the camera will focus. I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to focus on the ISBN number. I didn't have a whole lot of luck with the ISBN number, but I did find it when I did the pattern book. And here's how it's set up. It's got 2 wire sides. The beginning of the book. The book itself would make a great journal. Like, you could just make a journal in it, especially if you open these up and put pages in and you had a, you know, because it's got Velcro. So when you were done stripping it down, it could make a good journal. You'd have to add pages to it, though, definitely. So it's got some beginning pages that talks about, like, using the book and texture and pattern and motifs. So there are some beginning pages. I'm just going to leave those in the books. But then it's split. So you've got these short pieces on this side, and then you've got 2 sets on this side. So my goal is I'm going to find a paper that I like. So for example, I like this one. And if I look on the back, it tells me the pattern name, and it's a William Morris design. It's 15A. So then I'm going to come in here. Here is 15C. And here is 15B. So these are the 3 papers that are number 15. I'm going to use them in 2 abstracts. So what I'll do is I'll take them out of the book, but I'm going to give myself permission, if I don't like something, to mix it up. You know, like if I decided I like this, and then maybe I want something a little bolder, like I could use that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose one of these. I'm not going to go specifically by the numbers. I'm going to choose 3, and that's what I'm going to use in the abstract collage. But I want to do them smaller so that they can frame either in a 5x7 or a 4x6 as 2 accompanying pieces, because these pieces are small and I don't want anything on the back of them. You don't see it on Amazon. Let me, they may not have it anymore. Let me go to my orders real quick and see, because I just got it. All right, let me see if it will let me. I'm trying to look. There it is. I'm looking for the share button. Copy to clipboard. There's the Amazon link. So that's my thought. And then I'm thinking I'm just going to use this journal and just do it single-sided. And I'm probably going to use ugly old washi that I would never use, probably. For the tape. You know, you buy sets on Amazon and you just, they're not you don't use them. So I'm thinking, okay, so that. Trying to measure what size. I want to, like I said, I want to leave some white. Like you would a watercolor. And this is, oh, this paper is 9 by 12. So let me just mark. I'll mark the 6 right here. Then I'm just going to put the washi. So let's see, that will give me as a finished 5 by 8. So that would fit in a, I believe that'll map out just fine. Okay, this is a 5 by 7 opening. That's too big. That's an 8 by 10 opening, but I'm pretty sure that the 5 by 7 would mat out all right. And the paper's not too big. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna tear. That. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that. All right, put that up. Oh, is that where you saw it originally, Joycey? Was Keisha's Market? This is gonna be. So I'm gonna put some gesso. It's got a little pink tint to it, but I'm not gonna worry about that. And I probably will gesso the pages before I tape them. But just to kind of give you an idea what I plan on doing with it. Okay, and I'm going to take where that is. Damp. I'm going to take some yellow. And this is Naples yellow. I'm not going to take very much of it. Oh, Indian yellow, sorry. I'm just going to get it in my brush. All right. Let's take the first page. All right. I'm even going to leave this on it, I think. Okay, so I'll put those 3 pieces there, I think. Okay, I'm going to cut this one with the trimmer. And I'm going to put that under there. I think I am going to cut this off. Kind of like that. I think I'll use that there. Actually, what I'm going to do is use a bigger piece. We'll use that right there. Save that. All right, I'm going to get a punch. Where? Okay, I kind of like that. Maybe that. I'm going to trim this real quick. And I think I'm going to put this on here, potentially. Let me glue that real quick, and then I'm going to trim it. And I'm not going to worry that those are crooked. I'm just going to enjoy it as it is. Okay, so maybe this might not go on here. And I'll save all these bits. I'm leaning towards maybe that'll go on there. Somehow. But I'll save all these bits for another day, another project. Okay. Okay, so that is good. I'm just going to commit to some of this and make little clusters. That I can use together. But I'm not going to attach them to the page yet. So there's a cluster, and then let's make that a cluster. I'm just tacking it with some glue. Okay. Okay, that. Hey, Keisha. Sorry, Keisha. You are welcome. You could. I think you could, Lena. Let's look at the book again. If you, the only thing is, it's only attached here, but I mean, you could do this as a journal. You could art journal this and do these kind of like I mean, you could, it goes like, if you don't, I took it out. So this is 1A, 1B, 1C. They coordinate, right? So you could journal with it like the, what was it? Life book, where they were doing the little cards, the individual cards, and then you would put them in the different pockets. So you could definitely do some kind of journal here, and then on the back side, you could do something, you know, paint it out, reverse collage, so that it coordinated when it flipped. So that after that first page, and then you would have, and it definitely gives you different color, like it gives you different color combinations and pattern. So you definitely could do that, Lena, because you could journal on here and also journal on these if you had something, you know, like you supported it. And then when you turned it again, this could be layout 3. They don't seem to go together in my head, but you know, that seems to, I mean, I wouldn't put these 3 together personally, but you could, if you put something on this, I mean, you could gesso it down. There's a lot of things you could do. If I'm going to cannibalize it, because I can. So I would definitely come through and try to find something. See, I kind of like that, but I'm not sure the olive green. So I'll just have to be decisive. And then in the end, when I get down to the 3 that are left, I'll have to make it work. Like, I'll just have to make it work. All right. I think that this is going to need scribble. So I have a green. I want to see what color. What's a gray? It's a brown. Well, it's just going to have to do. All right. So I have a black and a green. I'm going to take those off. Okay. And I'm not like married to it. Okay, and then I think I'm going to probably take that back, knock that back with a little bit of gesso. I'm getting some gray. I'm going to go with it because I'm not done, so. Okay, I'm going to take some more of that Naples yellow and add it. Back in. Take pull back. I have not had these pencils smear like this, so that's something kind of new. Let me add some more of that bright yellow. All right, and then this is warm white. Okay. This is a little bit of something in the background. And then this is green gold. All right, I'm going to add my pieces back here. decide what I want. That's too gray. And I am just literally kind of winging it. All right, so let's dig. I think I'm going to use this. And see if I can get. It may not wipe back much. Okay, that's giving me a little subtle. So I'm not hating that. All right, that's just a little texture. Clean that up. Okay, because these are little, I think I'll use some of the little stencils to get something. All right. And I think I'm going to switch to distressed oxides because I'm getting close to being what I want to glue down. And I want to get a little darker on the green. Really, really like this one. Also leaning towards this. Okay, I'm going to get I'm going to save this one. Just trying to clear my space up a little bit. I'll take these off. That's not abstract, is it? All right, I'm going to go with the forest moss. On top of that. Let me get the green. All right, and I'm going to I'm just trying to go, oh, yeah. That tone on tone sort of feeling. Because this is going to go. This is going to go here. And I'm going to turn this just so I get a more random. And this is going to go there. I like this busier corner down here. And if this isn't dark enough, you can always add a little like soot to the mixture. And I'm going ahead and covering the whole thing because I've got to. Okay. I like that. Let's move those off there. Put that away. Put the ink away. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do before I go on to the next stage is I'm going to give it a real quick spray of matte sealer. Let me turn my phone over and cover up, because this stuff that helps keep that distress oxide from moving without using a brush, because I'm fixing to glue next. All right, so I'm going to use my glue stick and the glitter glue to get it down to begin with. I'll let that kind of do its thing. I can turn my phone back over. I'll get this with gel medium here in a little bit. I'm actually going to put that up in the corner. Okay. Let's give that a little bit of. A little pressure with the brush. That'll finish that cover there. All right, now let's get this one glued. I think I was going to put it in the corner, but I don't think I'm going to put it exactly in the corner. Okay. And you can see that I'm not smearing the distressed oxides. That's because I put that spray, and that really helps. Okay. Now we need to decide where it wants to go from here. You could do that, Joycey. I think kind of a metallic gray color might be pretty. All right, let's dry that real quick. All right, I think the next thing it needs is some stamp, just a little black script. Okay, so this is one big, it's got several, it's one big sheet, but it's got several things. And I'm just going to use it. In fact, debating between, I think I'll use the gray. And then I'm going to use the edge of this tissue potentially to actually, let's do this. It's just paper. Because I want to kind of block. Okay. That gray. Okay, and then just wipe it off here. Okay, then. Okay, I think that works. Just clean that off on that paper and use that paper again. And it probably doesn't show up on the camera very well. Let me divest myself of inky hands. As you can see, there's a little bit of text. All right, we need to dry that. All right. Bye, Keisha. All right, I'm going to take white. And this is the opaque white. It's in a different bottle. Need to fill it back up. I don't like using these squirt, so I prefer these bottles. Okay. So I think I'm going to give myself a choice. All right, put out some of the Indian yellow. Put out some of the white. I'm going to take this paper again because I don't want this corner. I'm indecisive here a little. I think I'm going to start over here. I want the middle. So I'm going to start with the white. All right, I want to try a little yellow. No, I'm going to just go with the white. Yeah, I like that. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm not sure I'm going to use the whole stencil. I want some of that middle. Oh, I will. I need more white. Yeah, this is not Golden's. It's M. Graham Indian Yellow. I thought I was getting watercolor and I got an acrylic. And I've never had their acrylics before. I like it. But I'm pretty sure you can get an Indian Yellow in Liquitex too, possibly. There might be an Indian Yellow in this. Traditions. I think I had an Indian Yellow before that I had in it, but it's gone. Okay. So I like that. Let's put most of one right here. Okay, I'm going to just do one on that one. And I think I'll take a little of that white. And a wet brush. I'm going to get it really wet. Did some splatters. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take this next page and that paint. So I don't waste it. And I'll take a piece of deli paper and stick that in there. Okay. I'm going to dry this a little. All right, I like that little bit there, but I think I want to add you want to add a word in white. That there says when nothing is sure. And then this one says everything is possible. All right, let's take the washi tape off. Okay, so then I'm going to leave it here, but it very easily can be matted and framed. I don't want to touch that mat too much. And then I don't know how this one would be used. It could go this way, but it could also hang this way. So I'm indecisive about where to sign it. I think I'll go around that piece, because then you could hang it. You could mat it and hang it this way, or you could use it vertical like that, and it would be fine. And I think I'm going to very carefully blot that. Oh, I wish I need a gray. Need a gray paint pen to sign with that's skinny would be good. Not so dark. I think that's done. The only thing it might need is it might need some scribble in black. And I'm just pushing it back. This would help if this was more damp. It's easier to blot with. All right, and that just sort of pushes that back. All right, I think. Thanks, Kat. Yes, Joyce, me too. Something different to kind of help direct the different, like to choose different colors than you might normally choose. So I am done. So that gives us 3 pages done. We got these 2. And then we finished this one. And we finished this one. And I'll have one in here in the middle I'll have to do. So that gives me another journal to kind of, I still have a composition journal to finish, but trying to switch it up to have something different to do. Thank you guys. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see you later.